Hey guys, Liquid Fire here. Thanks for joining me again tonight. So we are going to slip over into Hunting Simulator 3 again and take a look at the new dev blog that they released. So this is different than their Glimpse of the Wild. Uh, this is an actual dev blog, so it's a little bit different. This is their first one. This one is based on official brands and equipment that we're going to have in game. And if you haven't guessed by now, you've missed all the subtle clues and some of the not so subtle. But we're talking about Beretta. So they have a partnership with Beretta. It's been in the previous games as well, and it is going to continue in Hunting Simulator 3. So they rolled out the dev blog for us, and they actually had taken a trip to Italy. So they were on site at Beretta and they did a little video. So we'll let that play through. It's only a couple minutes long. It's kind of neat and interesting, and a lot of pretty stuff there. So we'll let that run through, and then we'll pick up afterwards.
My name is Carlo Gustalli Beretta. I'm the 16th generation of the family. Beretta is an iconic brand and name in the firearm industry because of its history. We've been around since quite a long time, almost ready to celebrate 500 years. Beretta being included in the hunting simulation game is a great opportunity. I think one of the main objectives of the game is to give a realistic experience to the player, to the gamer. Working with the team to make the gaming experience as realistic as possible is of great added value for the player, whether he's a hunter or not. So in the game we have a lot of different models of Beretta coming up. There's a few semi-automatic shotguns for waterfowl and for ground game. Then there's some really nice over and unders. There's a side-by-side with the 486, so very classy, beautiful gun. And then one of the latest additions is the BRX, so the new rifle that we made with the straight pull mechanism will also be featured in the game. I use it myself, and I think it's a great platform, and I hope players will enjoy using it. But I have played the previous editions, and for me it's really cool to see our products in the game, and especially when I see them, portrayed exactly as they are in real life. Like when I see one of our pistols or in movies, I get excited. The same goes for video games. When I see Beretta products featured well in a video game, for me it's definitely makes me proud.
All right, so there's the video. I don't think that there's a whole lot to take from it. Pretty straightforward. We are obviously getting Beretta. There's going to be some semi-auto shotguns, some over-unders, the 46 double barrel side-by-side, and the new BRX. Now, I do have to say, when we're looking at the shotguns, they look really good. So if we take a look here, I just pulled these out of the video, so they're just screenshots of video. That's the one of the semi-automatics, and it doesn't look as great right now because of the way we've captured it from a video. Hopefully it looks even better in game, but it looks pretty nice. It does have a choke on it. We know that there's going to be stuff that we can adjust on the weapons anyway, but yeah, it doesn't look bad. Yeah, we got a couple different angles here to look at. And the details look good. When you're up and close, you can see a lot of really nice details. So I think that for the semi-automatic, it looks good. It's the same camo, it looks like, as we had in the previous game. So that's cool. The double barrel, this thing is gorgeous. So this is the 486, and the engraving on it looks great. The texture on the wood, it's actually textured in. You can see in the reflection the little divots. I mean, I know this is obviously in a viewer or whatever, but it looks really good. And it doesn't matter which angle we're looking at. I mean, it just looks fantastic. To me, it looks way better than the semi-automatic. The same thing when you look at what I think is the over-under here. You can see the texture in the wood. That's such a nice thing, and the engraving looks great. You can see how the brake action's set up. It looks really good. The new rifle, the BRX they talked about. So this is that guy. It's an interesting looking thing, and I actually went and looked at it in real life, the way the straight pull mechanism on it works, where it pulls the whole thing back. It's an interesting design. So um, cool to see it in game. To me, I'm less worried about what it looks like and how well they shoot. But accuracy wasn't exactly a big concern previously, so I don't imagine that that's going to be much of a concern this round either. We'll see. Maybe it's a big issue. We'll find out. Um, the other thing that we wanted to kind of bring up is we did get a glimpse at what one of the rooms in the game should look like. So they showcased some weapons on the wall. If you caught it in the video, you can always go back and look at it. But they showcase some weapons on the wall, and you can see they've got screwdrivers and pliers and stuff like that hanging up on the wall as well. So that's kind of our first glimpse at what the lodge, part of the lodge, may look like, and it looks really nice. It's nothing crazy, nothing extreme. It looks very real. If you aren't paying attention and just glanced at this in the video and didn't see that it said 3D rendering, maybe you didn't even notice that it was fake. Um, I mean, when you know it and you look at it closely, you can tell. But it looks really nice, so I think that's a good sign. I think the lodges in HS2 looked fantastic, so I'm not at all surprised to see this look pretty good as well. But with all good things, there's a little bit of bad, and this is kind of stretching into the bad range and really looking at something probably closer than anybody intended. But if we take a look at the bison, something that jumped out to me, and the image quality here is bad because it was moving, so don't take that into account. What I'm looking at is this scar on the side. So if you remember when they showed the animals in the Glimpse of the Wild, they showed that bison and it looked great. I mean, here it is. And I mean, obviously it's not going to necessarily look just like this when you're showing some moving video and all that. So don't get pulled back by the quality. What stood out is this scar on the side. So I think this is a great looking bison, just to be candid. Yeah, it's pre-alpha. It's going to change. Maybe, hopefully it looks even better. But I think it's a great looking bison. I saw the scar on the side, and my initial thought was, all right, they're going to have some unique features on these different animals. And that was really exciting. But unfortunately, when we look at the video that they ran, and again, this is just a capture of the video. It's poor quality because of what it is. And, you know, they're moving and it's low frame rate and all that. So I don't want to say this is what it's going to look like in game, because it's certainly probably going to look better. But you can notice on all of the bison, they have that same scar. So I think that maybe we're looking at a consistent model, not something that has unique features to it. So that's disappointing. They never said they were all going to be unique or anything like that. That was just something that I probably was more hoping than expecting. But I did see that initially and thought, wow, they're surely not going to use a scar on all of them, but it looks like they did. Now, the flip side of that is these are bison put into a video that has nothing to do with the animals. We don't know how early this is. We don't know what the intent of this was. This may just happen to be one model used just to create the scene of the bison running, which, yeah, looks nice. So it's entirely possible that they won't all have the scar on their side, but that was kind of disappointing to notice that the scar is there. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all, to be honest, but yeah, it's there. Something that I did learn, I knew Beretta had been around for a long time, but I had no idea that they were pushing 500 years. So they were founded in 1526. That's insane. What a run. What a run. Anyway, so we've got the update. Again, there's not a whole lot of information. The big takeaway is they are partnered with Beretta. Beretta's going to be in the game, and there are going to be some really nice looking weapons. It appears to be anyway. Some really nice looking weapons. Again, we're going to have some semi-automatic shotguns. They did use plural, so hopefully multiples. They also said over-unders, so again, maybe there's some multiple over-unders. They called out the 486 double barrel, the side-by-side specifically, and the new BRX. So that's all kinds of new stuff. So while it's not a lot, not a big glimpse into the game or anything like that, it is some cool information, and it's nice to see something coming. So that's always cool. All right, guys, not a whole lot more I can say about that, so we're going to wrap this up. But yeah, it's good to see the work in progress. Good to see new things showing up and an idea of the direction they're going. So kudos to the team for putting this out here for everyone. All right, guys, you'll have a good night. God bless, and happy hunting.